Hey, I'm Shelly,
And I'm Angela,
and this is Real Talk Dating Exposed.
where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of dating in your 40s.
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like us below.
And if you're listening to us on audio, please subscribe as well.
Now let's get into it.
Okay, so traditional dating, right, is like, let's meet. We're going to grab a drink.
We're gonna go to dinner.
We're going to go to dinner. It's going to be loud. It's going to be like this show, right?
I feel like we get used to that. That is what we're used to, though, right?
Yeah, that's like the traditional, like, let's meet for coffee, let's meet for a drink, let's meet for dinner, right? Like, what else? Movie would be terrible. What? So the problem with that is, like, you're not able to just connect with that person, right? There's a lot of distractions. It's fine dining, right? And so what I think happens is you walk away from these dates and just, you're like in it. You're like, that was the best, but like, was it? Or was it just that experience that you don't typically have on a fucking Tuesday night, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's normalized, right? To be like, we start talking.
Yeah.
Okay, when is he going to ask me out? Where are we going to go eat?
Right.
Where are we going to go have a drink? I mean,
Right.
that is like dating 2024.
But like, I think there's this concept, which you and I talked about, where it's like, how do you date and bring that person into your life versus like dating outside of your life?
Yeah.
Right.
So I
like,
think
how do you date and continue to live your life? Because let's be honest, like dating on a Tuesday night, going out on a date on a Tuesday night where you're drinking and you're eating, I don't know about you, but that's not something that I typically do on a Tuesday. So as time goes on, that's going to fade. But then that's what your relationship was based off of, right?
Yeah. Well, then I think what happens is you're doing this initial dance of like, sure, I'll meet you on the Tuesday night and we'll drink on it. I mean, how many times have I said to you like, oh, they want to go out on Tuesday, but like, I know I don't really want to drink on a Tuesday because I don't drink during the week. I try not to, but I know if I'm going out to eat, I'm going to go drink.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So I think this is what sparked us to kind of be like, all right, well, what are untraditional date ideas where you are bringing that person into your world a little bit more, or like stepping outside of the normal food drink box?
Yeah.
Where you're connecting maybe in a way with something that you would be doing anyway.
Right. And I think too, oftentimes you go into a date and you're like, maybe you walk away from the dinner just thinking that there wasn't a connection, but it's like you're in a stale environment and it's loud and you're drinking and you can barely hear, like, what did you expect to have happen? Right. And so I think, and we think that connection can happen more over an activity. Right?
Agree.
So let's go down our list of non-traditional
date ideas. And we want to know your thoughts on them. I mean, I'd say some of them we've done, some of them we haven't. I think some of them we would want to do. So it was kind of cool making this list because we were like, what would we, what would be something ideal?
Yeah.
I mean, so we're going to start with, and it's so simple, but like, would you find it weird if a guy's like, Angela, I really like you. Like, do you want to go for a walk in the park?
I love a walk in the park.
Or like a hike?
I think anything where you're doing something and moving your body, I think is great.
For sure.
Again, you're not stagnant. Yeah, I would love a walk in the park. Hike, not so much because I'm not a hiker.
I know we know you don't love the
hike and talk.
But I will say, I've talked about it before, is hiking was one of the best ones because you're like, oh, are they bringing snacks? Like you can make it into a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a walk in the park, I feel like if someone's like, let's meet at the park. I mean, I think we're conditioned to be like, okay, but what else? You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, oh, if they're asking me to walk in the park, cool. But then are we going to brunch after? Or are we like, because this is what our society does, right? But I think if we normalize like, no, we're going to spend time in nature and just like walk around. And then it forces you, it's just you two in an environment where you have to either connect or not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no distraction. And like, I wouldn't be mad if there was like a picnic thrown in.
Yeah, I think that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that idea, actually. Okay. The other idea we came up with is a cooking class. Like you're doing an activity they're all over the valley. You're doing an activity, you're learning something new. You can see how you guys vibe in the kitchen. You do this, I'll do that, right?
Yeah, well, I think it shows whether or not you're going to have that teamwork vibe.
Right.
Whether or not they can handle themselves in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Lord knows I'm not like a cook, but like in that setting, I can cook. I just don't love to. So like I would love someone to do that and then be like, oh, good, they know.
Yeah, and then you walk away. Typically with
kitchen.
those, you walk away with a recipe so you can like recreate your first date like 6 months from now and be like, let's cook that dinner.
That same meal again.
Yeah.
It's like nostalgic.
Yeah. I love the cooking class idea.
Okay. What about like a ceramic studio where you're like making pottery, or like a paint and sip where you're like sipping wine and painting?
Also love that, right? Because then you walk away with the ceramic, you walk away from your paint. Again, anything, and you're experiencing something new. I guarantee, I mean, I've never done a ceramic
No, neither have I.
class.
Well, I've
right?
done the paint and sips, but never with a dude.
Yeah, so I think you're walking away from a new experience with a new person, and you can like bond over those new experiences with that person.
Agree. And then it becomes more than just, can we converse in a setting where we're drinking? Because you know what it is. It's like you have a drink or two.
You can
anyone
talk to
can start
anyone.
talk. You
Yeah.
can talk to anyone.
Yeah, you
know?
can start feeling a type of way, but then maybe
like, if
that
you're-
was just the margarita.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
But like if you're put in a situation where that you remove the alcohol and then you're actually like doing something where you may even be vulnerable in front of them because you may be like, I really suck ass at making this pottery thing right now.
Yeah.
And like, is it okay? Like,
Yeah.
or are they going to tell me it's great anyway? You know,
Yeah.
like all these things,
Yeah.
it's just getting a different perspective of their personalities when you're
Yeah.
interacting in that way, I think.
Yep. Love that. Axe throwing.
Axe throwing. I love that idea.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I think too with axe throwing, you get that sense of like, are they competitive? Like, can we banter back and forth in good fun, of course.
For sure.
Are they athletic? Because I think if you get a man out and that's axe throwing and like it just falls in front of the board,
Would that be a
like,
turnoff?
Yeah, 100%.
What?
It wouldn't for you.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Men were meant to throw axes,
Yeah, they were meant to be.
chop down trees. Yeah, you should be.
But like, even if I feel like if I sucked at it, which I feel like I would be good at it because I don't know, we're athletic,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But like them to be like, here, let me help you.
Yeah.
Let me show you the ropes. I think there's nothing
Yeah.
sexier than a guy that's like taking the lead
Yeah.
to like,
Yeah, do this.
yeah. I mean, that goes into what about shooting guns? Because I feel like I would love that with a man. Because
Yeah.
I love a man that shoots
Yeah.
guns.
I mean, I've shot guns before. That wouldn't be like my favorite thing. I'd still do it,
Yeah.
but that wouldn't be like my favorite thing to do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Top golf.
Top golf, pop stroke.
Yeah.
I know this has been one. Again, love that idea too. Like you're outside. I think anytime you can be outside, especially in Arizona, these like months coming up, perfect.
For sure. But what if they don't golf? So I've had a guy be like, well, I don't golf. And I'm like, yeah, but
Wait. Okay, keep going.
I mean, I like Top Golf, right? And like I've taken golf, I suck at golf, but I still took lessons and like I still enjoy sucking at it, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I don't remember who it was, but he was just like, oh no, I don't golf. And I'm like, but it's like Top Golf, you don't have to golf.
I was
It's like
gonna
going
say-
to like Pop Stroke, which is like mini golf
Yeah.
back east. I've never heard of putt, whatever they call it out here. Very bizarre. But either way, like you don't have to know how to golf. Like you just swing a club. And if you look like an idiot, who gives a shit?
Yeah. I think more specifically, if there's a man that's like, I don't want to do Top Golf because I don't golf. That's weird.
Why?
Because yeah, to your point, you don't have to be a golfer to go to Top Golf.
And
I don't
swing a
have to be a
club?
bowler to go to bowling. I don't have to.
Yeah.
like, I don't have to be an axe thrower to throw an axe. Like you just figure it the fuck out. But also, I think that if there's a man that's like, I don't want to go to Top Golf because I'm not a golfer. Like you're an insecure person.
Well, agreed. Well, isn't that a sign?
100%.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I feel like just go.
Top Golf is fun. Anybody. I
mean,
mean, I
I've-
have seen the girls.
Whiff.
I mean, I do get a little judgy out there. I'm like, it's not a bat. Like,
oh, it's,
but then also it's like YouTube it.
Yeah.
Figure out how do I swing.
but
a
even
golf
if you're
club.
there having fun, and even if the dude was like baseball swinging, which I've been known to do too, I'm not gonna lie. Like if they're having fun with it, I'm not gonna be super judgy about it. And I don't
Yeah.
judge your like athletic ability off of golfing because there's plenty of people that golf that can't do anything else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we like a manly man that does things, but like golfing to me, it's just like you don't have to be great at it, but at least try.
No, it's fun.
I try and
Yeah,
I
it's
suck.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about an escape room?
I mean, I think I'd love that idea. I think it shows, I mean, it'll tell you a lot about a person, right?
Yeah.
Like, can they think outside the box?
Yeah.
Do they have an imaginative, and is that going to be a deal breaker in a relationship? No,
No.
but are they open to like hashing it out with you in real time? Because you got to be like talking through it. I love that.
Yeah.
You
Are
know.
they smart? Yeah. Can they think outside of the box?
Like, are they a problem solver?
I think the interesting thing with an escape room date is oftentimes they're groups of like 4, 6, 8 people. So like the two of you are going to be thrown into
A group of other people.
you don't know, which I think could be an interesting dynamic to see.
How they interact with others
Yes,
in that scenario.
exactly.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be really telling about how they handle other parts of their life. Not
Yeah.
like I'm saying that's the escape room is letting you into all of their, you
Dark
know,
secrets.
personal
Yeah.
traits and dark secrets. But at the same time, it's, you know, interactive in a way where you're not drinking.
Right.
So not mad at that.
Yeah.
Paddleboarding.
I mean, you know, I love a paddleboard.
Yeah. Would you first date it ever?
I think I'd first date it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't really feel like you're able to connect on a freaking paddleboard
Yeah, you can just put your hand on the board
and like hang
what
out
we
next to
do.
each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just-
I guess so.
you talk.
Actually, I love it. I mean, I love anything
And I think too,
outdoory.
yeah, and I think too, like there's also that part of paddleboarding where it's like you go do your thing, like be in your space and
And
then
be
we'll
happy
come
doing
back
that, and then we'll
together.
come back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I do love that.
Yeah, you're out in nature. You can dock up, snack. Yeah, I'd paddleboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Farmers market, swap meets, walking around.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just like it's something different, right? And I can't say I've done that.
No.
I can't say I've done half of these things.
No.
But this is just what comes up when we're talking about like what would be something new and exciting other than the obligatory I'll meet you at culinary for a drink at 5,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, that's more of like a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. But it's fun. You
Morning,
get to
but
like
then
walk around.
We'll
see
see
little like local vendors, try different foods.
Grab a bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring the dog if you got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I mean, the zoo. I mean, I feel like I would love the zoo or like botanical gardens.
Yeah.
But again, like it's just an experience, right? Why not? I feel like I'm more in the land of like, you would never think to do that, but it would be fun to be like, hey, on Sunday, are you free at 2? I mean, maybe it's more of a time obligation than you would normally give someone, but like, I don't know, is it? How long are you gonna be at the zoo?
Couple hours. I mean, you could be at the zoo however long you want. You walk in and you leave when you want.
Agree. Plus animals
Yes.
are, I mean, non-animal lovers.
What's your
is it
favorite animal at the zoo?
elephants.
Elephant.
I don't think we have them here, but animal
We have
lover, how
elephants.
someone feels about animals is deal breaker for me.
We have
Like
elephants. At the
we
zoo.
do?
Yeah.
Oh, I love elephants. Obviously dogs first, but elephants second. But if they're not animal people in any way, I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good test. Maybe I need to
Yeah,
start bringing
you-
them to the zoo.
You get your walks in, your steps in.
Steps in?
Yeah, all of it.
Okay, not mad.
Yeah. Bowling. We've already.
Fucking love bowling.
Yeah, and there's that bowling place in downtown Phoenix, the miniature bowling. Fun. What
I've
is
never
it?
done that.
What is this called? Like,
I don't remember the name, but it's literally what, like a ball this big?
yeah, the tiny little balls. Yeah, bowling's fun until you step too far into the lane and you
slip
slip
and bust
but
your ass.
Just don't do that.
Have you
It's
done that?
fun. No. It's my biggest fear.
I love bowling. And
Yeah.
I've been on a bowling date. I like that
Yeah.
idea
Yeah,
because you're being interactive and it's fun. And like, I don't know why I just love bowling. So,
I'm good for like 2 rounds though. Anything
that's
after
it.
that, I'm like, my
okay, I'm
arms-
over it.
Yeah,
Your arms start to hurt?
yeah.
Angela.
It's not really a movement you usually do with a 20.
I break
pound
nails, so I'm not about that life. All right. Comedy nights.
ball. I mean,
Yeah.
I love comedy.
Yeah. Do you think it's a good
It's a
first
little
date
bit,
though?
I think it could be a good first date. I mean, there's not a lot of like talking in between, obviously. Like you want to be respectful of the comedians, but
How is it much different than a movie then?
what if you do like comedy and then a walk after?
Yeah.
You know,
Like pair
do
it with something else. Or like,
Yeah.
we're going to grab ice cream after.
Yeah, let's talk about the comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be so fun.
But I think laughing in general is great. So, and then also, are we laughing at the same things? Are they the type that are like laughing out of sympathy? Because I'm not.
or are
So
they
it's
type
like,
that don't laugh at all?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that idea.
Yes.
All right.
Museum.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last
We have
time
lots
you
of museums here.
When have you frequented a museum last,
Couldn't
Angela?
even tell you.
I know. Actually, I did like 3 years ago with my mom in Phoenix. But I'm not mad. The irony was I was like, let's do something different. And then
Yeah.
you end up there and you're like, this is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Why don't we do this more often?
Yeah, so I'm not
Yeah.
mad. I feel like there might be some resistance on men to go to a museum. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, let's be honest. Like this date is for the men because traditionally speaking, they should be. And I hate to
Initiating.
say should, but like initiating and planning the date.
But if they said to you, like, what do you want to do? I mean,
Yeah,
then it
here's
gives
a
you an
list.
opportunity to
Yeah.
be like, hey, I'd love to
Yeah.
go do this.
Yeah.
And then do you feel like there's a resistance on their end to do anything that you wanted to do? Do you love or hate that? Or do you judge that? Like if I
Like if they ask me what do I want to do,
if
and
I said
tell
like,
them,
Angela, yeah, what do you want to do? And you were like, oh, I'd love to.
go to a cooking class.
And I was like, oh, I don't really like that. Like, do you think there should be any pushback from men if you're giving an idea that you want to do?
Well, I mean,
whether or
if
not
it-
they like it or not.
My question would be why? Have you
But if
tried
they were
it?
just like, oh, I'd rather not do that.
Yeah, no, I don't like closed-minded. That strikes me as like being closed-minded.
Really in any capacity, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you've tried it and you genuinely, like, maybe you have a fear of the stove or something. Let's talk about it. But like, why are you so close-minded?
Yeah. But
You
even
know?
like a museum, and they were like, no, it's just not really my jam.
When's the last time? And have you gone with me? That would be my question.
Yeah. But then I probably wouldn't, if I have to go that far, I probably would not even want to
Yeah. I
be
agree.
bothered.
I
Right.
agree. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I would love this, but like volunteering with someone. So
Yeah.
I feel like that sounds so, I don't know. Volunteering is a huge part of my life, right? Like dog rescue is a huge part of
Yeah.
my life. Would I love someone to want to be a part of that? 100%.
Yeah.
In some capacity, or at
Right.
least show interest in it. And that's not just what it has to be, but like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Volunteering.
I mean, I love volunteering. I think anytime you can do something to give back. I mean, there's so many organizations here in the Valley that you can just show up and volunteer. And so if you're doing that with, even if it's a first date, you know, one I can think of in Mesa is Paz de Cristo. You show up, you're told what to do, you make the dinners, you serve the dinner, and then you clean up and you can leave.
Yeah.
You know, and you can still interact with that person and you're doing a good deed and you can walk away feeling, you don't realize in those moments like how good you have it, you know? And so
100%.
there's just so much that comes from volunteering. So I love that idea.
I do too, actually.
Yeah.
Because you think you want someone that is in service to
Right.
someone other than themselves, or something other than themselves.
Right.
I feel like at this point in my life, that's huge for me, is like, how self-absorbed are you, or how much do you actually give back to something else?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I think offering that out there and seeing how they react to that, it would be huge.
Yeah.
And how I would judge. And I would, and I'm not gonna lie, I would judge.
Yeah.
If someone like had pushback to volunteering. I don't love that.
No. I mean, there's no good reason.
But some people just don't. I mean, I can think of a lot of people that don't do anything of service for others.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What about rock climbing?
I mean, yeah, I would do that.
Have you ever?
I have. I mean, obviously with a with a pulley.
Well,
You
there's
know,
rock
not like
climbing
free-
places.
Yeah, the rock climbing
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Yes, I have
That's
done
what
that.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about rock climbing.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that idea. Number one, I mean, it shows how athletic you are. But number two, like, I want someone that would like coach me on as I'm doing it. I don't know. Anything physical, I think I'm here for. So like, if I weren't doing the dinner drinks, then I want someone that's going to want to do something active in some capacity.
Yeah.
That's just more of my love language with dating.
Right.
Just because number one, it's good to experience how you be in that physical environment with someone else, and then how they react to that too. But fun, it's just fun,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
What about
get
you?
to yeah. I'd be down to rock climb. Never done it.
Never done it.
No. But I mean, again, I'm always open to trying anything.
Yeah.
Most things.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, I love that idea.
Yeah. Anything else you can think of off of our list?
I mean, I just think thinking outside the box is just more or less where we're going with this, because there's only so many restaurants. I mean, there's tons, right? But
Yeah.
how many dinners and drinks are you going to do while you're potentially trying to find your human? I just think seeing someone in a different light and being in a different light yourself only gives positive perspective for both of you on each other beyond the food and the drinks.
Yeah. Yeah. And it can get expensive, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a man who's that traditional and he's taking women out and buying dinner and buying drinks, there's no need for that. You know, and I think if you throw out the idea of like, hey, on our first date, we're just going to go for a walk, and you get pushback from the girl, like maybe that's not your person.
Yeah, and
you
I
know?
feel like men have expressed that often, right?
Yeah.
I will say this, I'd much rather someone say to me like, hey, I'd love to like go for a walk with you, or like volunteer with you at your rescue, or like do something like that over
Yeah.
the steak 44 dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, most people will be like, bullshit. But I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a meal's great, but like thinking that, I do think there are a lot of women though that their love language is money and like getting wined and dined, and that's not mine,
No,
you know?
I agree.
So thinking outside the box, fam.
Yes. If you have any other ideas, let us know. We're open to sharing those as well. And as always, thanks for tuning in.